Hey everyone, it's Melody with Design by Melody. I'm using my stash kit number 2 for 2016 to complete this layout. This is actually the 7th layout that I've done with this kit, and I'm kind of down to just a couple 12 by 12 sheets. I think I only have 3. After this layout, I'll only have 2 12 by 12 sheets left, so I'm not exactly sure how much more I'll be making with this kit, but this layout was all about using up some scraps. So I had a lot of little bits and pieces of paper here, and I want to do some layering, just a lot of layering behind this photo. So this photo is obviously kind of dark. This was taken in our living room, which doesn't have the best lighting, and then Calen's hair is like massively crazy, and that's kind of what this was all about. So I decided to use this marbly paper for the back, which in itself is pretty busy. So I needed something to kind of help the layout be kind of, or the photo be kind of bold, because I didn't want it to get lost at all on the background. So I know exactly what my title is going to be, and so I'm going to pretty much work on that first. So it's called Classic Calen because, yeah, this is like classic my child. Crazy hair, food all over his face, just chilling. I'm surprised he has clothes on in this picture, but that's just truly who he is. He's just a happy kid, loves to be himself, and just is chilling. So this one is called Classic Calen, and since I was going to use that camera paper to map my photo with, I wanted to pull in the black alpha, and these are just some nice foam alpha stickers, and I like the font. So, and then I used some, jelly bean soup alpha beans in whipped white to make the word classic, but the word classic is blending into the background too much, so I decided to just layer a little bit of washi tape here under where the title is, just to kind of offset it to make it easier to see. And it's still the classic in the photo here doesn't look too bold, but in person it looks just fine. Just It kind of blends in just a little bit with the marbled background, but that washi tape really helps kind of offset that. So got my title down, knew exactly what I wanted to do, and now I'm pulling in a few other things. I decided to go ahead and pull in the green off of this Heidi Swap kind of epoxy word sticker sheet because I like the green and the black and the teal. I never thought about mixing lime green and teal, but they're enough of a different color to really look good together. I had a lot of these word things left. They're clear stickers, but they're like a plasticky sticker. They're pretty thick. But if you put them on any kind of colored paper, they get lost. You can't read it. So in messing up the very first one I had, I found out that you pretty much have to put them on white cardstock. I wish they were white based because of that, because it would just be easier to do that. And don't pick them up with your fingers if you have any of these, because you'll get fingerprints on them and it's hard to get that off. Now, as you saw, I did the first one, I rubbed the washi tape all over it because it helped kind of smooth out the sticker, get the bubbles out, and it was just an easy way to do that. So I'm cutting out 3 of these, or taking 3 of these and putting them on some white cardstock, and I'm going to use them on this layout. They just say different sweet little sayings about boys, like they're supposed to get dirty and a couple of things like that. And then I'm using all the different green elements from this Heidi Swap epoxy sticker sheet. Now, of course, you know how that works. You run out of adhesive as you're in the middle of a layout, but that's just regular scrapbooking. No problems at all. So at this point, I don't realize that I'm going to be layering behind my photo, but it gets a little lost. And so I stop for a moment. I take a break, I come back, and I go, oh yeah, let's try a little bit of layering. So I tried that pink scrap that I had sitting around, and I like it. But because I'm bringing in the pink, I need to now layer a couple other embellishments up here that are in the pink. And this die cut cardstock pack is perfect because it has a couple different bright pink elements in it. And it really matches this paper collection pack as well. Just looking through to see if there's anything else in here. I like rifling through things and pulling out a couple of different things and laying them aside to see if I can use them. And then I pulled out this one die cut, this lime green one, and it just says "Let's Party," and that is totally fitting with Calen's hair. If you look at his hair is crazy, and that just kind of fits with it. So I start doing a bit of paper layering. I pull all the little scraps that I have sitting beside me, and I just start layering and cutting and layering and cutting. There's absolutely no rhyme or reason to this. I just go with it. It looks so, sometimes I feel like I can't layer properly, and I know that sounds dumb because there's no proper way to layer, but I see some people do it, and it just seems so effortless. And for me, I feel like I have to like work at it. Okay, that may sound dumb, but I'm serious. Like I feel like I feel like I suck at layering sometimes, but I'll do my thing. I'm good with it. I'll do my thing. Um, it was really easy to use these scraps that were sitting around because they're all just little bits and pieces. And whenever you're layering papers, all it really matters is the part that you can see. It doesn't matter if it's a full piece of paper in the back or not. It just like that. I just cut this tiny little piece off, but I needed to separate the two layers of pink because they look like they were one sheet and they weren't. So I needed to separate those. So I just put a little bit of a different color in there, and I just layered and layered and layered till I felt like that was good. And as you can see, I'm going to try another thing here. And when I pulled out this one, I realized that the background had different colors, like there's oranges and yellows in the background. So I needed to layer my paper, my photo, in just the right spot to where you wouldn't see any of those other colors, because I don't want orange and yellow to be a new color introduced into this. I want to keep it the pinks and the teals. And so I cut this down, and then it was a little bit too large, so I cut it down a little bit more. And I'm pretty satisfied with the way it looked in the end. It needed something big on the background to kind of tie all of the layers together, and this is what did it. I just had to trim it down to be just the right size. It just seemed too big. And then I don't like having like 5 corners into the same place, so I try to kind of like enclose the corners in the layers. Just placing all my elements down. And as you know, I don't like to waste anything, so this little tiny piece that I cut off will get adhered to the other side. This was a pretty simple layout. The longest time really was the layering. And once I kind of figured that out, it was pretty easy. It kind of all came together pretty quickly. When I was putting the video together, I didn't realize it's like 11 minutes long, and it doesn't seem this layout took long enough to really have an 11-minute video, but it did. And I like to show my entire process. I don't really like to cut anything out unless it's me struggling with something like a paper, package or something like that, something that's not really part of the process itself. So if I have any of those types of things, I'll cut those out. But this, looking for an extra little bit of something pink from my stash that wasn't in the kit, just to kind of bring a small piece of pink down here to the bottom. That's what this is, rifling through my little pink sorted embellishment box. That's exactly what this is. And so I'm going to leave all that in there. It's part of my process, and it could help somebody. So I'm leaving those little things in there. Then you get a true depiction of how much I change my mind back and forth. Back and forth and back and forth. You see, every time I cut a little bit off, I try to stick it somewhere to make it work. I try so hard to make things work without having them be, wasted. And then this is my green sorted embellishment box where I'm looking for another tiny bit of green. And I end up with this vellum speech bubble. Now I'm going to cut off the speech bubble part and make it not a speech bubble. But I'm cutting it to kind of have just a tiny bit of green in a couple different places on the layout. You can't even tell that it was originally a speech bubble. It's just more so bringing that green color to another point in the layout. And I felt like there was a weird empty spot up here, so I'm trying a couple of different things to see if I can make it work. But just the same as I'm doing that, I'm kind of cleaning up to see if there's anything else that I want to try before I complete this layout. I was definitely near the end of this kit, I can tell when I'm kind of done working with something because I get a little frustrated a little bit more easy. Whereas when it's a new kit that's fresh and new, I just like to kind of move things around and try different things. When I'm getting to the end of a kit, I'm kind of like, okay, yeah, I'm over it. Let's move on. It's not working. It doesn't fit. Something doesn't match. I just kind of move on. And that's kind of, that's kind of where I was with this kit. Now, as I finish up here, I will do a dedicated video for this, but I'm probably going to change up my posting a little bit because I'm starting to feel like I'm doing the same thing over and over again, and I want to kind of just switch it up a bit. I'm still going to do my kit reviews. I'm still going to do everything like I normally do, but I think I may do, dedicated days to project life and dedicated days to new photos and old photos or whatever, just to give myself a little bit of structure. I feel like when I'm making the videos, I just kind of jump around, and that might be hard to watch. I like to sometimes be able to know what to expect from someone that I'm subscribed to. So I might go, oh, well, so-and-so posts Project Life every Saturday, so I'm going to go check out that video. So I'm just trying to get a little bit more consistency for you guys, but it also helps me in the creating process to kind of know what I need to work on. So anyways, I will make a dedicated video for that. So keep an eye out for that. But this completes this layout. Thank you so much for watching and have a great afternoon, guys. I'll talk to you later. Bye.